Hello friends, the third part of the electricity, current electricity. Third part is heating effects of the electric current, right? So what do we exactly mean by the heating effects of the electric current? This is a common phenomenon, we all have observed it, right? If you touch electrical wires, please be careful to touch, otherwise your hairs will start standing. Right, when you touch electrical wires, do you feel heat? Do you feel that the wires are hot? Normally not. Why? Because current flowing in the wire is very small. But if you take a high tension wires in the sense, the wires in which the current flowing is very high. Let's say you take a wire of microwave oven, right? Then wire of refrigerator. Those wires, if you touch, you may feel them hot. Or if you take a very thin wire and connect a very big bulb, again if you touch the wire, right, big bulb consumes, let's say bulb of 100 watt, it consumes a large power, and the thin wire, large current will be flowing in a thin wire, so thin wire will become hot more quickly. But be careful to do those observations, right? So general observation it is, the wires become hot when the current is flowing through them, and this hotness or this heat produced, right, this effect is called as a heating effect of the current. So if we write down in words, it can be wires become hot when current flows through it. This is called heating effect of electric current, right? So that is what is the heating effect is produced. You see iron, right? The bottom parts become hot. Why? Again because as the current flows, the heat is produced in the wire. Now let us see the reasons why this heat is produced. Why this heat is produced? So before we find out the reason, simple thing it is that the heat produced depends upon the material, right? If the material is a good conductor, heat produces less. If material is a bad conductor, then the heat produces large. Generally we see that whenever anyone gets a shock, that thing becomes hot, that thing turns black in color. So what is that? It's only because of the material. If material is a bad conductor, large amount of the heat is produced, but if material is a good conductor, then the heat produces less. So let us find out the reason why actually the heat is produced. So reason can be something like this. Heat is produced due to collision of electrons with other electrons stationary atoms, right? So these collisions results in the production of the heat. Obviously heat results in the loss of energy. So next topic which we have is equation of the heat produced, right? So it is observed, right, when we carry out such experiments, that how much heat is produced, it is found that heat produced is directly proportional to the square of the current. More current, more heat. It is also found directly proportional to the resistance of the wire. I said that it depends upon material. If material has less resistance, less heat, more resistance, more heat. It is also directly proportional to the time. Obviously, more the time, more heat is produced. So overall we conclude that the heat is given by I square RT. This is the formula to measure the heat. This formula can also be written in many other forms. Let's say if you substitute IR as V, right, so it can be also written as VIT, that is the heat produced. This is another formula, right? Then if you substitute the value of I, right, V is equals to, if you substitute the value of I as V by R, then V square by R into T. This is the another formula. Any of the formula you can use in the numerical depending upon the given values, right? So that is the equation for the heat produced. Then power, electrical power. For the electrical power, how do we define electrical power? Electrical power, it is defined as rate of doing electrical work, right? If we write down the statement in mathematical form, then electrical power is rate of doing work, that is work done upon time. What is the formula of electric work done? It is potential into charge upon time. Charge upon time is nothing but current, so power is VI. If you substitute V is equals to IR, right, then it will be I square R, another formula. Now if you substitute in the same formula, right, if you substitute I equal to V by R, then the formula will be modified as V square by R. So this is the another formula for the electrical power. What is the SI unit of electrical power? SI unit of power is joules per second, right? It is joules per second. This is general formula, but the other units, this joules per second, it is also called as watt. Then the electrical power, then we have here one more household unit of electricity consumption. When we get electricity bill, if you carefully notice, that bill has a unit of kilowatt hour, right? 1 kilowatt hour is how many joules? It is 3.6 into 10 power 6 joules. How this volume we got, you can refer to the lectures of the standard 10. In that one I have derived. So this is the electrical power. Then next, electrical energy. Electrical energy is nothing but the heat energy. Unit of the heat energy is joules, most common, right? Addition to the joules, we also have a calories. Then applications of the heating effect. Application of heating effect. This is again a simple topic. You know very well heating effect. So we can write down first heating effect in electric iron, right? In furnace also, if you want to start the fire, large amount of the high resistance material is used. Because of high resistance, large heat is produced. Because of large heat, fire comes up. So in furnace, heating effects. In room heaters, right? Then water heaters, and there are many uncountable applications of the heating effects of the current. Most important part of this unit is maximum power transfer theorem. Maximum power transfer theorem. What is maximum power transfer theorem? That if you connect any device to a battery, right, maximum power will be consumed by the device, or maximum power will be delivered to the device only when the resistance of a battery and resistance of the device are same. So if I write down these things in words, it will be maximum power is transferred to device only when resistance of battery is equal to resistance of device. That is what is the power transfer theorem, right? Then we have efficiency. It's a very simple and a common term. Efficiency is given by output power upon input power. You have some simple numericals based upon this efficiency. Efficiency is measured in terms of percentage. We multiply by 100, right, to get efficiency in terms of percentage. Efficiency cannot be 100, right? No, efficiency cannot be 100 because output power is never equal to input power. There is always some loss associated. So that's enough for the heating effects of the electric current.